Shalom. Call Halam La Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Haracha'a Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and sincerity. They steered us well and they rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. May the blessing of election be upon your house. This is the brother Zion Amawan coming at you with another lesson. To feed the lambs to the Holy Spirit, Haracha'a Kodash. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I was just scrolling and I see the U.S. debt clock, and that number is jumping. It's in the red. You at 37 trillion, 549 billion, 251 million, going up hundreds and thousands of dollars every 2 or 3 seconds. And also you have the U.S. total debt. That's right here. You at 104 trillion, man. So as you can see, this is the crashing of the dollar. This is what you're witnessing. The crashing of a financial system. Now, it ain't just Babylon the Great. Because if you go on the world debt clock, it shows you the entire world is in the red, but each, country owes different. All right, some is in the millions, got a couple billion, 429 million, but at the top, as you can see, that's $37 trillion, man. All right. So if the United States prints its own money, right, who do you owe? The world owes these elites. All right. Money is being divvied out, so to speak. All right. So now you are going to go digital. And that digital, you will be the currency. They already look at us like a currency now because we already have a, social security number. We have a bond number on the back of our birth certificate. But they're going to try to officially own you. All right. Once this whole current financial system ends. All right. And they're going to do that by the way of the MOTB, which is the CHIP. All right. Let's check the gold. Damn. That's $9,715 per ounce. Man. Yep. This is the let's see how much money had been paid back. Not enough. So as you can see, this is the crashing of the dollar. All right. It's like a time bomb. They just telling you when you can't use money no more. And this is in real time as well. So, bear with me. Now, in the book of Genesis, there was a famine in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan. It was a literal famine. And a lot of the Egyptians, depleted their funds, depleted all of their financial resources, so to speak, in order for them to purchase grains and other type of necessities. They wouldn't be able to pay for it, So Joseph was in the behalf of Pharaoh, and he was receiving, crops for bread. No, it's like, like livestock, like cattle for bread, you know, and also a portion of the crop was given as well as far as currency for food, you know. And, Pharaoh owned a lot of that land, and a lot of those people became his servants and things of that nature, and he taxed them on their crops, you know. So Yahweh Shema Shai is going to bring that famine again, you know. And it was hard, man. Just imagine in the ancient world, as and it's a famine, you know. So just imagine now, all right, where that word abstraction is written on everybody's forehead because people lost a sense of reality, you know. You don't know where that apple came from. It was in the store, and it has some wax on it to make it look pretty. You don't know where that bottle of water came from. They said that the bottle of water got E. coli in it now. There's a recall, like on Kirkland brands and stuff like that. You know? And who knows, man, it could be other brands. You're really supposed to drink water out of glass bottles, but that's another story. So abstraction is on these people's minds. They don't even know what's real. And all it is just taking it away, just not bringing a truck there, you know? And within hours, might be less than that. Probably about 30 minutes or probably an hour for sure. That entire store gonna be bone dry empty. And these people gonna be hitting these, walk-ins and freezers at these restaurants. And then that's gonna turn into them kicking in your front door. You see what I'm saying? Genesis 47:13, and there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by the reason of the famine. You see, everybody, were perplexed, and that's going to happen again, man, but on a way higher level. All right, this go around in Jacob's trouble, man, because the Lord is going to bring back cannibalism. He is going to bring back all of that, man. Okay. And then he's going to end it with a big bang, so to speak. No pun intended. That's literal. A big bang. You know? And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. You see? So everybody had to, basically give up their possessions in order to receive necessities. That's kind of sounding like a taxpayer to me. That's what taxpayers do. You are paying to receive benefits in some way, shape, form, or fashion from your powers that be, which is your government. And when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, "Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth." You see? So you see economic desperation, man. The money faileth. They have literally depleted all their funds for a period of time, okay, to the point where they can't buy the, grains and, things like that for the cattle, and, they won't be able to be fruitful, man. And the Lord gonna snatch that away from a lot of people, man, especially here in Babylon the Great, because this right here is the place where the bulk of the deliverance is gonna be, presented, man. It's gonna be here, man, in Babylon the Great, the bulk of the deliverance, and throughout the four corners of the earth. But the bulk of the deliverance is gonna be here. So the Lord gonna throw the kitchen sink at Babylon the Great. The Lord speaks about Babylon the Great being suddenly destroyed, man. Suddenly, So it says right here, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. You see? So that's that economic desperation. That's that perplexity kicking in. And that's going to be 2/3 of our people and these useless eaters out here. I got Luke 21 and verse 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. And Yahweh Shema Shai is showing us, man. That's why the scriptures say that a vision is for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it. People say, well, man, yeah, man, they've been saying that for years, man. They always will, look, Yahweh Shema Shai has a set time, a date, an hour, a minute, a second, a millisecond, when all hell gonna break loose, man. Okay? People looking at it like, well, so the government just shut down, so everybody is gonna, they always know how to work it out. It's gonna be right back like how it used to be. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because your life changed in 2020. Your life changed in 2020. DJT already said that he don't want another election. So obviously, under a national state of emergency, he will basically be an emperor for real. Because, all of the elections will be canceled. If there's martial law and all that, you ain't about to have no election. Everybody at the house and they got this whole, man, the election gonna be on Netflix. Like, what? Like, no. That's not how that's gonna go, man. There are going to be a list of executive orders and everything once as soon as martial law be declared. And FEMA can declare it. The president don't have power. They just like a manager at Popeyes. They run the restaurant, but they don't own it. They just work there. He's a figurehead. The ones that's really running the show you don't see, and they don't mind letting them think they the boss. That's how these elites think. They don't mind letting you think you the boss. They will even put you in a position of them to even make people think it, just so they ain't got to be seen. But you better answer that red phone. You know what I'm saying? But Yahweh Shema Shai been showing us signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. He been showing us blood moons, a lot. Solar eclipses, chariots, all right, similitudes, you name it. We know what time we living in, man, because we are watching and we are praying and we are measuring out the times diligently within itself. So we are making sure that we know what time we living in. We don't know when all hell gonna break loose, but we know by how the prophecies is going what time we living in. That's why that it's important to be taught properly in this truth. and having the right leaders, you know? Because a lot of these other Israelites, they don't know what time they're living in. That's why they're going to be caught suddenly. That's why they're going to be perplexed. You know? And upon the earth, distress of nations. You see? You even see Esau picking up packs of steaks, looking at it and putting it right the fuck back. Just like how Jake be doing. You know? When the federal workers, I think it was December 2018. It was the government shutdown. It was under DJT first term. It was in December 2018. And you know, it was a shutdown. It was the longest in history. I think it was like 35 days, something like that. And all of the federal workers, you know, well, I ain't gonna say all of them, but it was a majority of them. You know, it was a number of them that have, you know, lost money. They was broke. They couldn't get no jobs. Some of them called off work. A lot of them was in food banks, you know, just like a regular old po folk in a food bank, you know. So just imagine a famine hitting a person that eat every 3 hours, because that is how food is designed here in Babylon the Great. Quick, microwave, fast. You know, that's how they push how, you know, people eat. You know, they always got a commercial of some big fucking burger with all these waffle fries falling off the plate and all this other shit, cheese and all, you know, like, and then, you know what I'm saying, and Jake eating with their eyes. They like, yeah, man, I want to buy that, man. Soon as I get paid, soon as my stamps hit. You know, but you're going to have the distress of nations, and you see it now, man. Everybody is disgruntled. Everybody kind of on edge, you know. Everybody is on edge, man, of what's going on. The average American don't even have a month worth of groceries in their refrigerator, not even a week. The average American got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the average American understands that it's cheaper to eat out than at the house. You got Jake Eve 4 for 4ing her kids to death. Hot and ready pizza left and right. You know? Just saying, man. I feed my kids, and it's Taco Bell with fucking hot Cheetos and, you know, so what they fucking eat? Them old fucking Taki things, man. Hot chips and, you know. Come on, man. The Lord finna take away all that. You know? And a lot of people gonna be playing an xylophone on their fucking ribs. You know? For real. It's gonna get real around here, man. To the point where you might see a person gnawing on their own fucking arm. You might. Come on, man. That is not far-fetched. You might be walking down and it's Jacob's Trouble, and you might just be walking and just see a nigga just eating his own fucking arm. I'm just saying. And upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity and the seas roaring. So let's get that word perplexity real fast. And then we'll close. Point been made. It's Strong's G 638 aporeo, which means To be without resources, to be in straits. Right, straits is a level of difficulty. You know? Jake gonna have level 2 power with level 100 problems. Okay? You know, shit gonna pile up on Jake and on these other nations, man. Because look at 2/3 of our people. Ain't they proud? Jake always eating. Look at, there's this one motherfucker I can't stand, man, on damn social media. He be like, shark bite. I hate that motherfucker, man. I can't stand him. I don't know his name or nothing, but he be saying shark bite. And I'm talking about the burger breaking all in his hand and all this shit. I'm like, man, you doing too much. And these food review people smacking all in the camera. Man, that shit is demonic, man. Straight up. Straight up, man. Because that's a gluttonous spirit. And the Lord finna, he finna starve y'all out, man. But Yahweh Shema Shah said that his servants is gonna eat and drink. All right? And rejoice. And they gonna be ashamed. You know, they gonna be hungry and thirsty. You know, they doing enough eating now. And half the money they got, they scam for it anyway or snake somebody out. You really think the Lord gonna let a person like that just prosper? Come on, man. They don't even believe. So you know the Lord gonna smoke their ass out. Come on now. To be without resources. They ain't gonna have nothing, just like how the Egyptians didn't have nothing, man. I'm talking about all funds depleted. Only thing you can rely on is your government. That's why they gonna see everybody in the name of eating and drinking. See how it all comes back full circle, you know? Either way it go, they gonna get finessed to get the MOTB in the name of eating and drinking. First is gonna be a financial collapse. It's all gonna be staged. I'm telling you, man. Yahweh Shema Shah is gonna bring that financial, collapse. That's gonna bring the economic desperation because things are being depleted at a rapid rate. They're gonna try to go into a store, bone dry. All you see is dust on the motherfucking shelves. Not nothing on it, not even a box, nothing, empty. And whatever on the floor destroyed because feet and all that, shoes and dirt and all, you can't eat that, man. That's trash. Who knows? Somebody may grab a broom and put it in a book bag. Who knows? To be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt. You know what, man? Let's go back. To be embarrassed. They should be embarrassed. Because when the prophets was out telling you, warning you, warning you, they laughed. They tried to embarrass us, but we not embarrassed. We're not. This is a part of the job description. Humiliation. Getting laughed at, getting mocked, getting scoffed at. We're used to it. I promise you it don't faze us, man. I promise you that. The only thing that's going to do is have us throw curses up on you. Or sometimes, man, you ain't even got to throw up a curse. You could be crying out in your spirit in the Lord to get that motherfucker. For real. So yeah, they should be embarrassed. Looking all crazy. You know? Because when the Edomite ain't got no money, they look embarrassed. When they can't freely do shit, they look embarrassed. When they struggling, they look embarrassed. Just pay attention to how they be looking in their body language and shit. You'll see what I'm talking about. To be in doubt, to not know which way to turn. Right, man, especially Jake, man. You know, Jake gonna be in doubt because, you know what I'm saying, so they still calling on Cesare Borgia, man. They gonna be in doubt because they faint-hearted. They gonna be in doubt because they wavering. They don't know what they want to do. You know? So the Lord gonna give you a way to turn. Right down that cliff. You know? He's gonna turn you to a cliff and you're gonna drive off it. That's how the Lord gonna do a lot of these people out here, man. In their own personal lot, in their judgments. He's gonna really bring the fire, ultimately. But he's really gonna bring plagues. You know? Ending with that ultimate plague, which is the missiles, control fire from the chariots, you know? And Yahweh Shah got a lot of people he got to come see about too, personally. Because don't the scriptures say, the slain of the Lord shall be many? So he got to personally pull up on certain individuals, so to speak. To be at loss with oneself, be in doubt, not to know how to decide or what to do, to be perplexed. Man, they ain't gonna know what to do. I'm talking about indecisive on everything. Because in Jacob's trouble, if you make a wrong turn, a bad decision, it can cost you death. This is how serious this is. One bad decision can cost you your life in Jacob's trouble. You have to utilize wisdom. You have to be in the secret place of Yahweh Shema Shai in order to survive. So you think they're not going to activate Rex 84? You think they're not going to do that? That's already in the making. You think that Esau don't know that Jake finna be running out there to the woods and thinking he finna build an A shelter and hunker down and shit, and you out of your fucking mind. Because in that day, movement is life. You don't stay in the same fucking spot. You know? Hell no. Movement is life in that day. Cardio gonna be your best friend. Why you think the elder apostles is saying, make sure you work out? Because you gonna be walking a lot. You really think you finna be fucking driving during Jacob's trouble? Excuse my French. No. You're gonna be walking. Because you better not be seen on the main roads. Esau, Edom, and these, military personnel, they gonna come see about you. And when they come see about you, they're gonna shoot you. Because they're gonna look at you as a domestic threat. So you gonna be using a lot of back roads. But it all boils down to you being in the secret place of Yahweh Shema Shai, and Yahweh Shema Shai ultimately having mercy on you and giving you the sure mercies of David. Yahweh Shema Shai is going to be nigh to us, okay, with a contrite spirit. We got to have a contrite spirit. Matter of fact, man, we ended on that one because I know I said I was going to end it on that one, but this one just came to mind right quick. And then we'll close. Psalms 34 and verse 17. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. Yahweh Shema Shai may have you in a situation where you don't eat for 3 days. And then all of a sudden, you in the wilderness or something, Then all of a sudden, a damn deer got a little bag in his mouth and he drop it at your foot, and then he run and gallop away, and you like, what the hell? And then you look, it's fresh fruits and all that, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying, to hydrate you and all that. You're like, what? That's a miracle. This is literally what we are looking forward to and expecting in these days. So don't think that you're gonna perish right along with the, you know, these Babylonians and these other nations. Because if you believe that, you need to, you know, reevaluate something. Because we didn't get into this truth to be destroyed. We got into this truth to be delivered. Somebody got to be delivered. Why not you? You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be delivered. The scriptures say that there is an elect. Why it can't be you? You see what I'm saying? And everybody that got on that chariot, everybody that's going to get on that chariot, believed that they was going to get on there. You can't, like, not believe you not going to be on the chariot. Like, man, I don't. Like, what? You got to believe. What's the point of being in the truth if you ain't going to believe, man? So you think Yahushua not going, you know what I'm saying, save you? Then you need to reevaluate something. That's a spirit. Call all Yahweh Shema Shah. Verse 18. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. You see, you got to have a sense of remorse of what you did, man. Because we've been going off. You know, this is the Day of Atonement. You know, it's September 30th at sundown to the 1st of October of sundown. You know, and on this day, your spirit got to be right. You supposed to have a contrite spirit, man, a broken heart. We've been going off all year, going off in our previous lives. Come on, man. We in these vile, nasty ass bodies. We need new bodies, you know? We subject to sin. Come on, man. We need Yahweh Shai. Straight up. Straight up. He the only one that's going to get us out this, man. For real. Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Otherwise, we going to be stuck here in fucking Babylon. And this place is on a ticking time bomb. This place has reached its maximum. You know, it has reached its max. All right. A mega city, man. You know, an empire is like you know what I'm saying? It's like a life. You know what I'm saying? You are born, you're young, you mature, and you die. And a empire is the same thing. And this empire is at the death point. You know, it has reached its full, quote unquote, potential. It ain't gonna get no better than this. It's gonna be, this is the max. You know, and the financial system is ending, and you got a lot of bread and circus. You have them putting, you know, these celebrities and these athletes, things of that nature, they are put in the forefront. Those are signs of a failing society. When the women are out of order, the list goes on. Where they highlight chefs and things of that nature, you know, those are signs of a failing society. Straight confusion. The list goes on. So in order for us to get saved out of our troubles and to get, you know what I'm saying, get delivered from this demonic place, we got to have that contrite spirit and that broken heart, man. Because those are the ones that Yahweh Shema Shai is going to rescue. Ultimately, you have to be the elect. But you know what I'm saying? But the elect is going to be praising Yahweh Shema Shai in the good times and in the bad times. All right, because mind you, we still gonna be praying it, you know what I'm saying, praising Yahweh Shema Shai during the time of Jacob's trouble. Still, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna stop praising Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Verse 19, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. I want to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and sincerity. They steered us well and they rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. May the blessing of election be upon your house. We're on the next one. Avaratazah. Shalom.